different kind of video for today. I'm going to show you my box opening of my new NACON Revolution Pro controller. Traded a couple of games in for this. Looking forward to giving it a bash. Looking forward to seeing what's inside this beautiful little box. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you get it in a box. It's a controller in a box. Quite simply. So let's get inside this bad boy, see what we get for our money. Okay, inside the outer shell is another box with a sweet little logo in the middle. Very nice, the Viper or something. I'm not sure. Here, close up. Some sort of snake. Viper. And inside the Viper box, very nice seated controller packaging. One NACON Revolution Pro controller. The other side, the very nice seated controller box. Some what looks to be like a graphics and some sort of small instruction manual, possibly. Some sort of nozzle. A little handy carry bag. And another box. Oh. Okay, it looks like some sort of what looks like a guitar. Can't think what they're called. Guitar. You get me. What are they called again? One of them. But I'm pretty sure we're not going to be playing a guitar with our controller, so instruction manual is going to have to come out, I think. And what looks like the world's smallest dumbbells. Well, let me tell you, even flawless gaming would struggle with these bad boys. Ultimate weights! Ultimate weights! Ultimate weights! I can feel the burn. I can feel the burn! First page. Just showing you the controller. Okay, so from what I can see, it looks like you actually put those heavy flawless dumbbells into the underneath of the controller. So it looks like they're actually, so you can specify how much weight you want or don't want. The controller itself feels, in my opinion, obviously this is going to be off of everybody's opinion, this is going to be everybody's preference. I think I personally like my controllers a little lighter. I have the ridiculously sized girl hands. I mean, these are like, there's something you'd expect of a small child. So for me, I'd say it already feels weighty enough. Whether it's got some weights in it or not, I don't know. Should we find out? Let's get inside it. Okay, so it actually does not have any weights in it whatsoever at the moment. But obviously, as we've previously stated, these must all be a different size. Yeah, so you got 10 gram, 10 gram, 17 gram, 14 gram, 17, 14. So you can only put two of these in at one time. So, I mean, the heaviest you can have it is 17 and 14. If you particularly like a heavy controller, I'm for now just going to leave these out, guys, and we'll just get on with the standard sizing, weighting that we've already got. Again, as I say, I prefer my controllers a little lighter. I'm not the most heavy-handed guy in the world. So, leaving that alone, just to let you see, these here are the entry points for the weights. And I've got to say, guys, it's really nice and simple. Simply stick your key in, turn it, and then that whole compartment pops out. and away you go. Put as much weight in as you got. I mean, potentially you could have one side heavier than the other. I suppose it's definitely specific on the actual game player himself. Looking at the controller itself, it's very, shall we say, Xbox styly. The offset joysticks. This one has, again, another, the buttons are all fairly flush. This one has another one of those Venom logos on it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you to see that. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. And we have the D-pad. So all in all, it feels quite nice. And I've got to say, I've not got the biggest hands in the world, as we've already found out. And yeah, it fits nice. It fits nice. I'm not a massive fan of the Xbox 360 controller. I've not tried the Xbox One, so I cannot judge it until I've had it in my hand. I can't judge it. I don't believe in judging things that I haven't tried. I'm not a massive fan of the Xbox 360 controller. I found it was a little bit too big, a little bit too clumpy for my tiny hobbit hands. But this seems to fit quite well. One thing I noticed straight away is the the paddles at the back, the R2 and L2. They seem a lot closer to impact, if that makes sense. I find that this distance is quite far. I mean, I've never had a problem with them, don't get me wrong, but this distance compared to this distance just seems a lot closer to impact. There's the first difference I can see already. So going to the L1 and R1 buttons, they seem more of a button. It's more of a, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's more of a click. More of a click rather than anything else. I mean, there's very little play in them at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, these buttons are also not very playful, but they seem to impress. Again, the impact seems a lot further than that. Might just be in my imagination, but hey. So far, I like the paddles. I do like the paddles so far. Alright, looking on the back, we've got two different modes on the back. We have a profile, we have an M3, an M1, M2 and M4 buttons. Again, not entirely sure what for. And then on the front, we have options and share. Again, they're a lot smaller than on the original controller. See if we can get a comparison for you. So the options and share buttons are a lot smaller. One thing I have noticed as well, the circle, triangle, square, X, PlayStation lovely buttons are also a lot closer together, but not only that, they're a lot bigger. A lot bigger. So, a lot of differences so far from the original controller. You have also, now apparently with a lot of third-party controllers, the headset jack isn't available. Now these do have the headset jack. If anybody does use a headset jack for their headset, these do have this does have the headset jack for you. Fits on like so. Just simply pop it on, screw it on. The wire itself seems very durable. It's obviously meshed outer layer. So when you plug it into your PC, instantly you get a big blue ring around your right hand joystick. Interesting, it's nice, I like it. We're now going to find out how we set up all the functions on the back. In the controller manual, we find where we need to go for the Pro controller gaming settings. We need to download some software. Here we go. So, 4 versus Revolution. Why would 4 be fighting Revolution? Okay, so we download this software and we are going to find out exactly what this software lets us do. By the looks of it, looking at this screen already, we're going to be able to change that light that surrounds the right hand joystick. Just Google NACON Pro Revolution controller, and the first web page, the first link that you come to on Google is the one that you need to install the software required for the controller. Okay, so that's it finished. Click finish. Finish. You'll see that you've got a new little Viper icon or whatever this is on our desktop. If we double click this, yes. Right, and here we go. Pro Revolution controller from NACON. Okay, so looking at the main page instantly, we've got profile management. So we've got controller profiles. Now on the back of this controller, there is a button here that says profile. So presumably we can preset a few different profiles depending on what game or how sensitive, non-sensitive we want things to be. That's probably what this profile settings for. My profile, so presumably once we've set some profiles up, my profiles is where we can go to edit them. Download profiles, so by the looks of things we can probably download some profiles. And NACON profiles, so profiles that NACON believe that we should probably use, no doubt. And create your profile. So here we are for profile creating. So right stick. Instantly we've got some craziness going on. So radius 10. I mean, we're gonna just probably leave most of this alone for the minute. Triggers. So we can go into the triggers. That's pretty cool, actually. That is pretty cool. So even though I said that there doesn't seem to be a hell of a lot of distance between 0 and 100%, you can actually change the responsiveness of them as well. Okay, so the first thing I noticed, it doesn't turn your PlayStation on by the PlayStation button. So like all the normal standard controllers, it does not do that. So just bear that in mind if you are not sat close to your PlayStation. For me, it's not too much of an issue when PlayStation's right next to me. PlayStation button does not turn it on. From looking at the software, there's two preset standard settings that are already on here. This one's a natural, this one's a first-person shooter, but this is just what NACON have got. I obviously don't know how it's going to work yet, so I have decided to just leave as is for now. Right, just to see how it plays then, guys, I'm gonna flick this over to first-person shooter. It's a standard NACON first-person shooter profile. I don't know how this is going to go down, but this is what I've put it on. We are in a team deathmatch. I haven't got my headset on, guys, so the other people's movements, I'm not going to hear that, so that's not the controller's fault. That's just obviously because I haven't got my headset on. I haven't put my headset on purely for the video, so it looks a little bit sweeter. So instantly I can feel it is, I mean, obviously the responsiveness of the actual game is still whatever I've left it on, but buttons move pretty sweet. There doesn't seem to be any lag. So far it's feeling not too bad. The vibration is very, very smooth. The two left and right trigger buttons are a lot bigger than usual for me, so getting used to them is difficult. Also, the left trigger is higher. The left trigger is a lot higher than I'm used to, so it is definitely going to take some getting used to. Let's have a look and see how we get on with one of these. Sniping. All in all, it feels very, very smooth. The vibration is extremely nice. It's a very subtle vibration that sits underneath the controller. It's very, very subtle. Ultimately, getting used to the controller is going to be the biggest part of it. Nice and sweet. Right, I'm just going to test it out on FIFA. Now, I'm only going to do an offline game, so it might not show its true effect, because obviously with online, you've got the lag that you've got to try and deal with. But we're just going to do a kickoff mode, quickly get some sort of feel for it, and see how we can get on with a different type of game than shooting. So far, the only thing that I can say is it's going to take some time to get used to it. It's different to the other controllers. It feels different in the hand. I think it feels a lot smoother. I think it feels a lot better. But at the same time, it's still going to take some getting used to. We're just going to give it a quick tester on FIFA. Obviously, there's a few different buttons that I need to press and use during playing FIFA. So we're just going to get going and see how it feels on FIFA. Instantly, I can feel that those larger buttons are definitely. They're nice and big, but they are going to take some getting used to because you're so used to pushing such smaller buttons. In my opinion, like they are really quite big. Not in a bad way. Like I really like the how big they are. It's just one of those things that it's going to take getting used to, understandably. And obviously, the more and more I use the controller, the more and more the feel for the buttons will feel natural again. And I think that's the difficulty thing at the moment. It just feels unnatural, not because of the controller, but because of what I am used to playing with. So all in all, I am very impressed with it. I am impressed with it. Obviously, it's going to take some time getting used to it. Obviously, the buttons are a lot larger. And in width also, so they are very wide. Also, so is the R1 button. However, the position in which, my hands are quite small. Okay, so the position in which my hand sits for playing FIFA, because of hitting L2 and L1 very frequently, I find that having this offset joystick here is a lot closer. It feels like I've got much more control over the players. It feels a lot more comfortable. These buttons are extremely large. The only thing I can see possibly getting a problem with that is they are very close together, possibly hitting another button instead of the button you actually want. Not too much of an issue. The sizing of the actual joystick itself, this is what I was talking about. It is very high compared to an original controller. I don't know if you can sort of see the comparisons there. I know one controller's in front of the other, but they sit a lot lower. They sit a lot lower, and this one is extremely high. Now, I would say that's probably going to be for more control. Until I get used to the control, I can't really say that it's a bad or a good point. It's the only thing that I could feel right now is a lot more alien to me than anything else. Obviously, the offset of the actual joystick itself is a little alien, but I can tell that's going to take no time at all to get used to. It's just the height of it. The height of it is going to take a lot more time to get used to. But overall, I think it's an extremely good controller. Without going into those settings a little bit further and finding out exactly how they work and what they do, which I'm going to do at a later point, first impressions is very good. Very good indeed. How does it feel? It feels great. It feels really good. It smells a bit funny. I'll give it that. It does smell a little bit funky, very rubbery, but it's not super slippery. It's not super sticky. All in all, guys, it's a good controller. Good controller. Well worth the money. Thanks for watching, guys.